if you like me...
Okay.
You know, games coverage has been getting a bit strange these days, and if you like me have been wondering why...
Green Giant, thanks for the 5 subs, man. Thank you very much.
We might be a bit closer to the answer.
Okay.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another deep dive.
Here's why I think, all right, I'm gonna just pause here. I'm gonna just get my idea out of the way right before Bellular says anything. One of the big reasons why I think media coverage is out of, it's out of sync and it's out of touch with the audience. Here's why, is because the articles that are like gamers are dead and video games actually do cause mass shootings and stuff, they get everybody to click on them. And this is a for-profit fucking company and they want those clicks for ad revenue. So they hire a random fucking freelancer to write an article that makes people mad that the company doesn't even agree with or care about, just to get the hate clicks and to get the people watching the article. Sorry, I choked a little bit. To get everybody mad watching it, and then they click on the fucking ads. That's what happens. I think that it's actually, the companies don't even care. They just find these jackasses with these bad opinions just to get more people to listen to them, which drives more traffic to their website. There's no agenda even. They just want to make money.
I can't quite believe it. We're going to talk about Call of Duty, but this time it's not going to be about microtransactions.
What?
No, we instead have something particularly
what's there to talk
interesting. A controversy that's been ongoing since the game's reveal a few months ago. So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare was unveiled as a franchise reboot, one that would refocus the game on grit
I would have never
and
expected
authenticity. The reaction to this was absolutely fascinating, both in terms of the legitimate criticisms presented, but also in some of the bad faith or bizarre ones that seemingly conveniently forgot the groundbreaking work done by Call of Duty 4, a game that was intensely political throughout, with quite a strong anti-intervention message woven throughout its narrative. More importantly, this is something that highlights to me how media is a bit different these days, and how the role of games journalism is shifting over time, now that we are in a world where companies are prioritizing direct-to-consumer communications, something that might actually be changing the way in which articles are written. But of course, what's most important today is that these events allow us to discuss ideas, and that's what's most important of all. First, though, changes have been made on this site that heavily decrease recommendations of content like this. It now seems to heavily favor likes, subscriptions, and ring the bell, as evidenced by the new analytics they have provided creators
give it a like.
So, if you would like to stay updated, support what we're doing, then hit subscribe and ring that bell. It does seem like our content will be on your recommended feed a lot less moving forward. So you see that percentage? Let's see if we can increase it. Call of Duty Modern controversy. Here's a quote. Should this particular game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, be made? I
think that if they make a game about war political, that's okay. Almost all wars are fundamentally political. Like that's okay, right? The issue now is that it's very hard to discern whenever people are using a different event to promote an agenda or whether it's an artistic choice. And I think that's really the main concern that people have, is that they don't want to have people go in and try to insert an agenda, but at a certain point, an agenda can be okay. So I think it's just distrust of the developers acting ethically and acting in good faith. I think that's really what it is more than anything. Not even the ideas being talked about in the games. It's more just distrust.
Glimpse I've seen of it so far tells me no. That is the opening quote from VentureBeat's Modern Warfare Impressions piece. This article goes on to talk about the author being uncomfortable, bringing up no Russian. The article talks about the developer's wish to create a gritty, authentic game with a complex world that mirrors our own, with events that are ripped straight from the headlines, that shines a light on the nature of modern war. And after posting those quotes from the developer, it moves on to the author's opinion, specifically of a mission where SAS soldiers are clearing a building that contains both civilians and enemy combatants. And the article's take, well, here it is. But this should not be part of a modern video game, in my opinion, given the thin line between civilians and warriors, and given the impressions it creates in our world, which is driven by social media, sound, and video bites. It looks so much like you are killing civilians, and if you make a mistake, you are. It then goes on to say that it's profoundly disturbing and, quote, unjustifiable. The author's thesis is one of choice, whether given the choice of making this game or not, if the developer should, saying that the game will give fuel to those who hate, suspecting that the sheer horror of what's depicted on screen will outshine the message behind it. Of course,
aren't these the same people that are probably tweeting right now about how video games don't cause violence? Does anybody else see the irony in this? Like, they're the same people that are doing this, and then now, I mean, really, like, come on, it's ridiculous.
Of course, this is all written without context of the full game, which the author does acknowledge, saying that the game preview does require trust in the developer, but also saying that Infinity Ward cannot be trusted given their past, which is somewhat of an interesting statement. No Russian was a bit on the nose, but hey, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That is a game that started off in a very contemporary way with its execution scene. It then called into question the depersonalized nature of killing from a distance. Much of its narrative was about a botched US invasion of a Middle Eastern country.
Thank you.
Just look at the contrast between the training in the SAS kill house and then the silenced executions of the first mission, something which was very much done on purpose to highlight the player's actions. Now sure, the later entries to the series, well, somewhat turned on the grounded message of Call of Duty 4, but I think we cannot forget that this is familiar subject matter for the series.
Well, yeah.
And you know, I do think
it has
this
been forever.
article brings up some interesting points that are worthy of discussion, but its hyper-focus on how they could make big mistakes with this game, I think it's a bit much. It does seem a bit desperate. Overall, I do disagree, of course. I don't think that gaming should, you know, opt out of covering a story because of its medium. Just look at the last scene with Nolan North's character in The Last of Us.
What's this?
It is a hard topic for any piece of media to cover, but Naughty Dog's execution proves that gaming can handle complex topics like that. Just because it could go wrong doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. It doesn't mean we should preemptively limit the artistic boundaries of the medium. Now moving on,
people just don't want to be confronted with ideas they don't like. That's really all it comes down to. They see a video game that does something that makes them uncomfortable, they want to remove it so nobody else can deal with it either. That's really the main issue, right? Is that you have people that become uncomfortable because of a certain issue or a certain event or a certain thing in a game, and not only do they not take part in it themselves, that's fine, but the issue is that then they go and they say, well, nobody else should take part in this either. I think that's really the main problem. There are plenty of things in games that I don't like, and like, you know, parts about games, whatever, but whenever you actually go farther than that and you say that nobody else should be able to like this either or do this either, that's whenever it becomes a problem in my mind.
This article isn't really the lens through which fans of the series will have perceived the reveal.
Yeah.
Given the nature of the game, fans of the series will go in wanting a contemporary take on modern war that tempers its bombast with grit. Those who enjoyed the narrative of the original Call of Duty 4, well, they will have no doubt also enjoyed films like Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30. So given it being a return to modern warfare, given that being the name, combined with what the developers have said, I think they no doubt will take Infinity Ward at their word, that they earnestly want to create a gripping piece of art that has something to say. And this brings me on to the most recent controversy, the thing that spurred on this video, that of the white phosphorus. A horrific weapon indeed in the real world, especially as
my dad told me about this.
The Line, a game that is a tremendous narrative achievement, one that is worth playing. The reveal of white phosphorus being a multiplayer kill streak somewhat blew up, but from what I can tell, only in select parts of the internet, and very much not core Call of Duty players. It seemed to kick off from a...
Well, that's right, because usually the people that are playing the game are okay with what the game is doing. The problem is you have people that are outside of the community, outside of the people that are actually invested and play the game, come into the community and insert themselves into a community that they don't belong in, and then they try to change the community that they don't belong in. That's why people get mad. That's why they say, oh, gamers are defensive or gamers don't like whatever. It's because they're literally sitting there playing their fucking game. Everything is fine. Then some other person comes in and says, no, you're doing it wrong. Now everything has to go the way that I want it to go. That's the fucking problem. Like, it's not even like, if you don't like it, just don't fucking play it. Like, it's not a big deal. There's a million games out there.
Of tweets, some small, others a little larger, like a Eurogamer Reporters one that drew that Spec Ops The Line comparison. And like with the initial game reveal, we've seen a divergence of interest with the coverage. The media are more hyping up the white phosphorus controversy angle, but those who are just interested in the game are just seeing it as another mechanic in Modern Warfare's multiplayer mode. And I think on that, just about everybody has a point.
Yep.
On the criticism of Call of Duty, I highly recommend watching this video, How Call of Duty Lost Its Identity. This is a great video that expertly covers the series' transition from the great of Modern Warfare to the Michael Bay action movie bombast of Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, they're trying to appeal to 12-year-olds.
That there is a case that if you hype up the realism of their game, it does make the line a little bit trickier to walk when you come into topics like this with the white phosphorus.
Yeah.
I think there's a legitimate discussion to be had there, even say around the multiplayer, single-player logical split. But here's the thing, I know that if I'm playing this game in single player, I'm going in looking specifically for what I loved about Call of Duty 4 all of those years ago. But I also know that if I'm playing this in multiplayer, I'm looking for a competitive shooter with good gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, nobody cares about the politics.
I think the vast majority of gamers who are going to be playing this game, they've got zero problem understanding the difference between those two modes. And they will be going into each, like me, for a totally different reason. It's almost reminding me of how way back in the day, Call of Duty games used to ship with a different EXE for the single player and the multiplayer. Yet it's also fair to say that, you know, Infinity Ward are trying to have their cake and eat it in some ways. Back in the Call of Duty 4 days, the kill streaks, in fairness, were a bit more tame, with the series only moving over to its sort of over-the-top crazy kill streaks after it moved away from the grit and authenticity of Call of Duty 4. Now, Infinity Ward have responded here. They said, hey, guys, I know you're angry about the white phosphorus, but we had nukes in our previous games, and in the case of the white phosphorus, they said that there's no unique animations in multiplayer, that they're not overplaying the horrors in multiplayer, and that it's not an over-the-top thing. They said that they do view single-player and multiplayer as being quite distinct. Overall, I think that is a perspective.
This entire I feel like this entire thing's fucking stupid. Like, if you, I mean, am I the only person that thinks this entire thing is just so pointless? Like, I'm just, it's so pointless. I mean, why does this even matter? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm missing something maybe, but it's like, yeah, video games glorify violence. I mean, yeah, sure, in a way. It is what it is, though. I mean, like, I can't imagine people thinking this is real life. It's crazy, man. It's free content for everyone. Hey, by the way, Twitch Prime.
That will be in alignment with most of their audience. In short, there's a really interesting discussion to be had here for sure, but it doesn't really seem like it's happening. Now, I've touched on the split between consumer and journalist perspectives when covering a topic like this, and that means that it's finally time to properly dive in. So, fans typically engage with what a developer says in good faith, taking their words earnestly. We're in an era where corporate communications are increasingly direct to consumer, and that furthers that connection. Journalists, well, they have an inherently critical job. That's kind of the role of journalism. And when given this rise in direct to consumer communication, well, the usefulness of the journalists and the gaming news websites in just reposting press releases, that somewhat has diminished. Fans are eagerly waiting for new information about the games that they're passionate about. Journalists, though, well, they're waiting for a story to emerge. And look, I'm a pundit too. I'm not a journalist, I'm a pundit, but I clearly do that as well. Running my Warcraft...
I don't use that word because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Channel for 5 years, I could tell you for damn sure there were dry spots when I was just sitting around waiting to write something, and, you know, maybe I think of a spicy take and I run with it. That's kind of what would happen back in the day.
That's exactly what I used to do too. Is like, I would literally just be sitting, I would open up MMO Champions whenever I did YouTube, right? I would open up MMO Champion and I would be like, oh my god, I really, really fucking hope that there's gonna be something cool on there. And what goes on there, it's like, oh, a new battle pet's added, or, oh, something, you know, Ian said that there's this one thing, and like, it's just an irrelevant point. And it's like, that was the issue, right? It's like gaming journalists have the same problem, is they're just waiting for news to happen. And so what they do, this is smart, this is what I did too, is instead of waiting for the news to happen, you create the news. You create these bullshit agendas. You create these massive big issues out of thin air that get everybody invested and involved in them. And this is completely all you. Like, you've done this entire thing. You're the architect of this massive time-wasting thought experiment that will have no impact on anybody or anything after it's done. And you just do it. There you go. You know, why you know, make some video that's really controversial, like my guide on ninja looting. I still get people mad about that. It's been 5 years and they're still mad about that. They're like, I can't believe anyone would fucking do this. Can you believe that somebody would have the audacity to ninja loot an item in World of Warcraft? I can't fucking believe it. Who would support a person like that? And it's just like, give me a fucking break. The issue also, I think this is a big problem that people have, is that there's like not this disbelief. Like they play Call of Duty, they play WoW, and they're like, this is real life. No, it's not. It's a fucking game. It is a fucking game. Like, if you steal items in a game, it's a game. Can you be an asshole in the game? Yeah, you can. But there are plenty of people. Here's an example. My friend Jeff, many times, caused so much trouble for people. He ninja looted Gruul's Lair every weekend. He'd fucking carry his PC, and I'd carry his monitor and his keyboards and his fucking, like, Dallas Cowboys duffel bag up from his house to my house. He would put his computer in my room, and he would ninja loot Gruul's Lair on Friday fucking night. And he would go back home, and he would be nice to his mother, and he would go to band camp and get relatively, actually he never got good grades, but he would never cause any trouble. He was a piece of shit in game, and in real life, he was pretty much okay. The thing is that, like, people use video games to be outlets for, like, that type of personality that they have. But people forget that this is just a video game. It's just a game. It's just a game.
Now, was I doing that in bad faith? No, it was stuff that I found interesting, but it undoubtedly is a different perspective from which the players of World of Warcraft were tackling that game. And I think that means we've got to ask ourselves, is this type of thing done in bad faith?
You're right. No, you're right. Jeff did end up in jail. You're right. But that's after he quit WoW. If he was playing WoW, he would have never been in jail. Because if he was playing WoW, he would have never had his girlfriend, who he would have never married, because it would have never happened. No, really, I mean, like, WoW kept him out of jail. You think about that. No, because it was just a causation. It would have never fucking happened. He would have never gone to jail if he had played WoW.
I think sometimes, yes, it is, but other times it's not. No doubt many articles
Keeping
are
kids
just there
off
to
the
cause
street.
a bit of outrage. After all, outrage, time and time again, has been proven to be the most shareable emotion, and that's something that does explain a lot of modern media. Though it's fair to say that often there's plenty of things to criticize that are worthy of criticism.
Thank you very much for the 10,000 bits, dude.
And
Thank
while
you so
this
much,
no
man.
doubt sometimes will happen in bad faith, I do also think that it's that difference in perspective that kind of leads to this. Gamers just want more info about the game that they love, and they take the game developers in good faith and, you know, like they're being earnest. Journalists, though, well, often they're going to be mining an information dump for a story to report on. And these differing lenses are going to lead to both groups seeing things differently. Indeed, they are different groups with different priorities, and that's going to often exacerbate any differences in perspective that they do have. Perhaps it is the case that in a world where companies are talking directly to their customers, journalists have somewhat been pushed out a little bit. They're no longer the filter through which...
Good. We don't need professional critics all the time to go around and tell us what's politically incorrect in video games. Like, just become a streamer like everybody else and play the games and comment on them offhand, and that's going to be enough. We don't need these thought leaders of people that play the game for 20 hours and want to have a complete fucking decision on everything about it and want the game canceled.
We all get information, and maybe that leads to them having to try a bit harder, maybe doing the spicier takes. And as much as it might be tempting to cheer their decreased relevance, and I mean, when they talk about toxic entitled gamers, I can see myself doing that sometimes, but we also do have to remember the companies in question ultimately do just have their profits in mind. Even if that difference in perspective decreases the influence of journalists, we cannot abandon criticism of corporations and just...
It's good that the companies cut the journalists out. It's good, because that way you get the information straight from the source, and the journalists don't have any power over the corporations. There's no special interests occurring. You just communicate directly with the company. They tell you what's going on, and there's no other kind of bullshit.
Become compliant fans. It's very important to always be clear about that. After all, we are talking about the very same corporation in this case that's stuffing their games full of microtransactions. I mean, just look at Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So, now that we've sort of explored these topics, where does it leave us? Well, I'm personally really interested in the narrative ground that Call of Duty Modern Warfare covers. If they can return the franchise to its roots with more, a more grounded adult story, I am going to be in. That will be a win for games as art if they can do it well. I mean, sure, they might mess it up, but assuming they're trying it earnestly with good intentions, I think it's fine. I think it's a good thing to do. I think that the journalists who've been critical of it often do bring up interesting points, such as the validity of the single-player, multiplayer logical split and the interplay between a strive for authenticity and, well, the bombast of game mechanics. I think that's all really interesting stuff.
I'll agree with that.
But it can be communicated in a more open fashion. Personally, I kind of dislike this trend in single perspective opinion pieces that we're seeing. I think it's totally fine to talk about these topics, but I think if you want a better hit rate with your intended audience, I think you've got to make your audience's perspective feel valid and welcomed. I think you've really got to think from your audience's perspective and respect them as people. I think that's how you open a genuine discussion, instead of making your audience feel like they're being talked down to by somebody who wants to just burst in and change their games. And really, when it comes to communications, I think that is the cell phone. I think that is the backfiring thing that is often being done in modern times. So there you go. That is my thoughts on, yes, the Call of Duty thing, but also the broader games coverage topic. I would love to hear what your thoughts are, though, so please let me know down below. And as I said at the top of this video, yeah, I'm going to have to shill a little bit harder for the subscriptions and the bell rings. YouTube did change some of their algorithm stuff, and it seems like it's hitting us a little bit.
There it is.
It has hit others harder, but yeah, it still
is
a little bit of a bummer. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this. I really appreciate your support, and with that, I will see you next time.
Let me scroll down and see what the comments are here. It should be disturbing. It's war. I wouldn't really trust an article by a guy who can't even beat the tutorial of Cuphead. Yeah? That seems like, seems like a problem. It's like, for example, I never beat the tutorial of Metro Access or Exodus or whatever the fuck it is. I don't have an opinion on the game because I didn't play it. I thought it sucked, but I'd never be like, oh yeah, this is what I should believe. Imagine not being able to beat a tutorial. And like the thing is, the tutorial's fucking easy. I remember playing Cuphead. Like, to be honest, like platformers are the only game genre that I'm even remotely good at. All of the other games I've been shitty at. I grew up playing Super Nintendo, so yeah. Frankly speaking, Dean Takanishi is bad at his job. He's not only a bad gamer, as is evidenced by his amazing Cuphead video of infamy, but he's also bad at reporting on games. It's amazing he even has a job in the industry for as long as he has, being as ill-suited for it. Takashi's understanding of gaming and the culture thereof is remedial at best. Take anything and everything he says with a metric ton of salt, or better yet, just ignore it wholesale. He's the worst gaming journalist you've ever heard of. But you've heard of him. Sometimes being such a big, dumb fucking idiot that's just an obnoxious goddamn piece of shit is actually really, really useful, because everybody's going to be talking about you. People are going to be thinking about you. They're referencing this guy's videos. I kind of want to watch I want to watch this video with Cuphead. I want to see what's going on here. Like, now we're thinking about him. Now we're talking about him. And it's going on. Does anyone even still read these websites anyways? That's the thing, is like, who reads gaming websites nowadays? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is like, what is it, 2010? Like, what the fuck is going on? Who reads these? I don't know. I don't understand it. Most of the outrage is done to generate clicks and views, not actually deliver the news. Oh jeez, I can't even read that name. Why is the most relevant and realistic comment made by somebody who I can't even read their fucking name? Okay, just a second. Cuphead response. Okay, here we go. Dean Shameful. That's okay, play. Oh, no, dude. Does it show him? Oh, he got it. He figured it out. Oh my god. Look at him go. This is worse than me. I feel so great right now. It's like a redneck watching Jerry Springer. I'm not that bad. I only fucked my cousin. Oh, this is great. What? There's no way this is real, right? I don't know if it is Dragon. It seems like it's real. How long does this go on? He's got to be trolling. Dean shameful. Oh. He figured it out. Not quite, dude. Here we go. Here we go. He's going for the hop. Ooh. He barely made it. Oh, almost. All right, this is it. He's gonna go for that. Pog. Okay. Hold the say in the same place. Okay. So now he's learning because he's got his finger out. Now put up. Do it up like. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good job. Wow, this guy's smart. Oh shit. Oh wow. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. All right. We're gonna go for the. Oh no. This isn't what I. Oh no. Okay, now he's planning, right? Because he just moved in that direction. There we go. See, he's a good player. Okay, everybody knows that. Okay, good. See, look at that. That's learning. Look, you don't learn every time. Okay, that's good. Coin. Now get the coin, Dean. There you go. Switch weapons. Okay. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty damn good at the game. Holy shit. This is impressive. Okay, now we're gonna start the actual. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know how much more I can watch of this. Yeah, he's going for the 112 here, guys. Does he get to a boss? I have a feeling that he won't, right? Come on, here we go. Click through it. Let's go, Dean. Get to the point. Get to the point, Dean. There we go. Press A. All right, here we go. He's gonna speed run this game.
And begin.
Oh. Okay. First mob. Literally, first mob. Okay, good. Good job, Dean. There. Oh, it's not Mario. Can't jump on their heads. Uh-oh, watch out for that guy. There you go. Remember what you learned in the tutorial. Yeah, there you go. You just did it. Okay, this is great. Okay, now, looks like he's stuck. There are so many mobs that are overwhelming him. He won't. Oh. He did his best, okay, guys? He did his best. There we go. All right, we're going to try again. Imagine this dude playing the crab level. Imagine this dude playing the motherfucking crab level. My mom, who's half blind in one eye and has like fucking like arthritis and just everything wrong with her, she could probably do better than this in a million different ways. Like, this is my mom. He's like fucking 60-something years old. This guy makes her look like an elite gaming warlord. This is incredible. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right, dude. He's getting down under. All right, let's see if he can just get this coin. Nope, it's not Mario again. All right, here we go. Wow. Okay, good. There you go. There you go. That way they can't. Oof. Is this real? There's no way that. No, dude. This is a slow learner. I think this is just a slow. Like, it's not. Why does he keep trying to jump on their heads? Like, I don't get it. Like, that doesn't work. Like, Cuphead is a very, very misogynistic and ableistic game. I spent about 45 to an hour minutes playing this game, and I still wasn't able to even complete the tutorial. I can't believe that they would just insult their players by allowing them to just have to focus on doing these different types of content. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. This game should be canceled, and I hate it entirely. An hour minutes? Yeah, whatever. Alright, let me go to the next one. Alright, let's keep going. He's probably writing, like, right now. You can just imagine, like, all the bad things he's gonna say about the game. We'll check Slasher's Twitter. I will in a minute, okay? Can you imagine, like, this dude's mind? Like, right here, watch. Get ready for it. Yeah, there we go. Whenever he sees that line right there. Like, this line. You know, it's like just at the very, very, very beginning. Let me look at Slasher's Twitter real quick. Slasher's Twitter. Is there anything that's interesting that he's going on here? Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck?